my time. Don't run too much. Let's wait, man.
Khamzat Chimaev just fired a shot at Dricus Du Plessis' corner that has the MMA world buzzing.
About to bet on it.
It's hard to say because we don't know what happens.
There's so many question marks. We don't know.
Khamzat just shoots from like 15 feet away and gets a hold of your legs.
I look at
styles make fights, and you never seen Dricus fight a good wrestler, and Khamzat's one of the best. So
and you got to think his endurance is probably going to be better at 85 than it was at 70 because of the cut.
Yeah.
For Khamzat, it's like 85 is really where he should have been all along.
But again, he gassed out against Usman. That was at 85.
Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev is next.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Before the fight, though.
I wonder where that is.
Khamzat Chimaev has never been one to hold back his thoughts, and ahead of his UFC 319 middleweight title fight against Dricus Du Plessis, he sparked controversy by mocking Du Plessis' coaches in a recent social media post. The undefeated Chechen-born star posted a photo of Du Plessis and his team after his UFC 297 win, but it wasn't the image that caught attention. It was the series of donut emojis Chimaev added, clearly aimed at the size of the South African's burly cornerman. While it might seem like harmless banter, it's part of a growing pattern of mental warfare Chimaev deploys before big fights, an area where Du Plessis is no stranger either.
Dricus Du Plessis, the man. It looks like it's going to be very difficult to get the belt off of him. He still has work to do at middleweight. Khamzat Chimaev being problem number one. But watching Dricus today, I don't know that Chimaev just drives across the mat and takes him down. He's so good at what he does. I know Chimaev has a massive following and people like him. He's been dominant. I just don't know that he has ever seen anyone like Du Plessis. How do you train for him? Who can you bring in that does the things that Du Plessis does? Du Plessis throws punches and kicks at the same time, and it works. He's a puzzle that has not been solved in the UFC. It's going to be very difficult to get the belt off.
Dricus Du Plessis, the reigning 185-pound champion, is no rookie when it comes to psychological battles in the fight game. He's previously rattled fighters like Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland during buildups, with his brutal verbal jabs even drawing an emotional reaction from Strickland, who broke down in tears during a podcast appearance while recalling past trauma. That level of psychological intensity proves that Du Plessis isn't just about physical toughness. He knows how to strike nerves in and out of the octagon.
Is Khamzat going to be able to take me down? Absolutely. Absolutely he'll be able to take me down. This is how a fight works. I would hope so. Isn't he like some Swedish champion or something? I would hope he could take me down. But then he has to deal with me on the ground and he has to keep me there. Can I take Khamzat down? Absolutely. Am I going to take Khamzat down? Absolutely. I'm not scared of Khamzat wrestling. I'm not evading. I'm not trying to stay off the ground with Khamzat. That's the mistake everybody makes.
While Du Plessis hasn't officially responded to Chimaev's mocking of his coaches, fans and analysts believe it's only a matter of time before he fires back. Known for his aggressive approach to pre-fight promotion, the South African champion rarely lets comments slide, and with UFC 319 quickly approaching, tensions are only escalating. On the physical side of things, Du Plessis seems to be in peak condition. He recently posted photos of a sparring session where he could be seen dominating a partner on the mat. Accompanying the images was a stern message directed at Chimaev, implying that no matter how prepared or strong Chimaev thinks he is, stepping into the cage with Du Plessis would be an entirely new and unpleasant experience. The statement ended with a promise that the champ intends to keep, a reminder of his South African grit and confidence.
How is he going to beat him? Because I am not fully confident that Chimaev can take him down at will. I'm not fully confident he can keep him there. We're going to know in the very first round. If Dricus gets taken down in the first round, things are going to unravel very quickly. But if he can defend a takedown for the entire first 5 minutes, it's only going to get easier to stay on your feet after that. It's an exciting match. I would expect Chimaev to be the favorite, and he is.
Opinions in the MMA world are sharply divided over who has the edge in this matchup. Some, like former flyweight king Demetrius Johnson, believe Du Plessis might have a stylistic advantage if the fight remains standing. Johnson pointed out that while Chimaev's grappling is a serious threat, he has shown signs of fatigue in past fights, especially when they stretch into the later rounds. Johnson feels that Du Plessis' awkward but effective striking, combined with his toughness, could frustrate Chimaev if the fight doesn't end early.
DDP Khamzat.
I got DDP.
DDP.
I think he'll survive the first round. Second round will be competitive. He might get taken down again, but I think he'll shoot in. I don't know, if I'm DDP, I'm shooting in on Chimaev.
Okay.
If he is getting taken down, he'd be like, I'm pulling guard. I'm not going to be cramped up against a cage. If you shoot early, we're in the center of the cage, I'm in guard.
Yep.
So I think he takes the center early. doesn't stuff it. Yep, flops right to his back, but it'll be so easy for Chimaev, whereas other people might put up a better sprawl.
Yeah.
But I think DDP round 4, round 3 TKO.
Another voice joining the discussion is Caio Baralho, who sides with Chimaev. Baralho believes many fighters underestimate the unique nature of Chimaev's MMA wrestling. According to him, it's not traditional wrestling that fighters should be preparing for. It's Chimaev's fusion of striking, pressure, and unpredictable movement. Baralho argues that standard takedown defense won't be enough, and that without a deep understanding of Chimaev's rhythm and timing, Du Plessis will likely find himself overwhelmed.
Khamzat fighting against Dricus. Who do you think to win? I think Khamzat is going to win because I don't see anyone preparing properly for Khamzat. They are bringing wrestlers to train them to defend takedowns and all that, but Khamzat doesn't do the normal stuff. Khamzat doesn't do wrestling. He does MMA moves. It's different. You need to understand his system, what he wants to do. You need to understand this first, and then you start to prepare for him. And I think Khamzat's going to win.
On the flip side, Sean Strickland, who has first-hand experience fighting Du Plessis twice and has sparred with Chimaev, openly backed the South African to hand Chimaev his first professional loss. Strickland claims Chimaev's wrestling isn't invincible, and that with the right approach, it can be neutralized. His key point was that Du Plessis doesn't need to out-wrestle Chimaev. He just needs to survive the takedown attempts and keep the fight upright. In Strickland's eyes, that's where Du Plessis has a clear advantage, especially given how awkward and powerful his striking is.
TDP and Khamzat got announced.
Oh no.
Yeah, August 16th on my birthday.
No, let's go.
3/19.
Let's go, dog.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no shit. They're letting the fucking terrorists in.
However, not everyone agrees with Strickland. Darren Till, who has also trained with Chimaev and fought Du Plessis, is firmly in Chimaev's corner. He believes the Chechen-born contender is simply too intense and explosive in the early rounds. Till confidently predicted a finish within 2 rounds, pointing to Chimaev's conditioning and aggression as being too much for Du Plessis to handle. He even mentioned a recent FaceTime conversation with Chimaev, where it became clear the fighter was laser-focused and aware of the threats Du Plessis poses, yet remained unfazed.
If I went back to the UFC now, I was the middleweight I could be. I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts, because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds. I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows. I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird. I was,
whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that. Don't be disrespectful.
Michael Bisping added a more analytical take. He praised Chimaev's raw talent and finishing ability, but highlighted a key concern: cardio. In fights against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, Chimaev appeared to fade late, and Bisping suggested that had the judges seen things differently, Chimaev might not have walked away with those wins. His worry is whether Chimaev can maintain his trademark explosiveness in the 4th and 5th rounds, which are often where champions are truly tested.
Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking shit about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But I think he's got some problems here going 5 rounds against Dricus Du Plessis. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. But we do know the man is a finisher. He is a phenom. He's a freak of nature. He's a strong son of a bitch. He's a great wrestler. He might not have the accolades of a Bold Nickel, but holy shit, when it comes to being effective, Khamzat Chimaev is right up there.
Former One Championship double champ Rainier de Ridder also weighed in. With experience sparring both fighters, his opinion carries weight. He pointed out that Chimaev's early aggression could backfire if Du Plessis manages to weather the storm. According to de Ridder, the longer the fight goes, the more the momentum shifts toward Du Plessis. He noted that while the South African style may appear unorthodox, it works. His footwork, movement, and awkward angles make him difficult to pin down, especially for someone who relies on explosive blitzes like Chimaev.
I know you've been asked a million times about like the Khamzat and Dricus fight, but now that we do have a date, like a location, all that kind of stuff, maybe you can talk about it in more real terms since we know when and where it's happening.
Yeah, it's August, and where is it?
Chicago.
Oh,
August 16th.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently Khamzat can fight in the U.S.
Yeah, yeah. Now Trump is in office.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it before. Do you still feel Khamzat has the advantage there?
No, I think Dricus is gonna. I think Dricus will win. Yeah.
De Ridder also emphasized Du Plessis' ability to perform even when fatigued. Unlike many fighters who slow down after the second or third round, Du Plessis has shown an uncanny ability to remain dangerous deep into fights. That stamina and heart, combined with his unusual striking style, could make him a nightmare for Chimaev if he can survive the early pressure.
I don't think Khamzat is gonna get him out of there early, and Dricus is a motherfucker. Man. He keeps going, and every round, though it doesn't really look better, he looks better at his technique. He gets better every round, and I see Dricus like finishing him in the late rounds, like 4th round, 5th round, maybe with a lot of volume. I see Khamzat maybe taking him down in the 1st, 2nd round, getting to his back, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I think Dricus has a good shot.
Yoel Romero gave Chimaev a slight edge, primarily due to his Olympic-level grappling skills. In Romero's view, this level of wrestling experience offers Chimaev a distinct advantage in what's expected to be a razor-close contest.
1640. 1640. Chance.
You have what, sorry? Who do you think? 60 Dricus?
16% for Chimaev and 40% for Du Plessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev.
Yes.
Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. The wrestling. The wrestling for Chimaev right now is very, very dangerous.
Along similar lines, rising star Bo Nickel grouped Chimaev with dominant grapplers like Islam Makhachev and Merab Dvalishvili, suggesting that fighters with relentless pressure and positional control are shaping the next era of MMA. For Nickel, Chimaev's style is more than just effective, it symbolizes the future of the sport.
You know, just based on the styles, I just think that the grappling style, I might be biased, I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. He did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now.
However, others have spotlighted the tools that Du Plessis brings to the table, particularly his stand-up game and mental resilience. Former bantamweight champion Dominic Cruz praised the South African's ability to switch stances and use striking angles to deter takedowns. Cruz also pointed out Du Plessis' composure under fire, which he believes could help him stay calm during Chimaev's trademark early assault, a phase that has overwhelmed many of Chimaev's past opponents.
Man, I actually really like Dricus right now, the way he's looking. Like I said in the Schmo interview, he doesn't really stay on the center line. His striking and the stance switch really supports him in the rest of the takedown defense. because as long as you don't sit right in front of a guy consistently, it's hard to get a hold of the legs and shoot on you. So he's also very big and strong, so I think he can challenge the strength of Chimaev in the first 2 rounds, which a lot of people haven't been able to rival. Just the strength alone has been too much, and I think Dricus is sturdy enough and big enough. He can challenge it, but I will say I think it might be the toughest fight of his career so far.
Robert Whittaker, who has faced both men, gave a more nuanced evaluation. He acknowledged Chimaev's dangerous explosiveness, especially during his entries and level changes, but he also warned that Du Plessis' awkward timing, raw strength, and unconventional footwork could frustrate Chimaev's rhythm. Whittaker emphasized that while someone like Sean Strickland offers a more straightforward style, Du Plessis poses a much more unpredictable challenge, one that might throw Chimaev off balance.
Khamzat against Dricus or Sean, do you think he'd be the favorite against either of them?
I think he just takes him down, and like how he beat Usman, how he beat Joe Burns, I can see those sort of fights. I think he'd have more success with Strickland than Du Plessis, because Du Plessis is like a big dude. But ultimately, stopping that first takedown is so crazy. The way he shoots in that, his first shot is crazy. How do you stop that dude? Jump over it. Like,
Luke Rockhold shared a similar take, suggesting that Chimaev tends to empty his gas tank in the early rounds. According to Rockhold, Du Plessis' toughness and superior cardio might allow him to flip the fight's momentum if he can make it through that initial wave. His durability, he argued, becomes a real threat as the rounds pile up, especially if Chimaev starts to fade as he has in previous fights.
It's not always about the most technical guy. You know, it's the guy who wants it more. And how do you think fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. You know, I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's gonna be a hard 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. Right. I think that's gonna be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah, 100%.
Who wins, Dricus Du Plessis or Khamzat Chimaev?
Coach Tim Welch added another intriguing dimension to the analysis, focusing on the psychological aspects. He speculated that Du Plessis' ability to play mental games could end up unsettling Chimaev in a way that affects his composure during the fight. Welch noted that although Du Plessis may not scramble as effectively as some wrestlers, his mind games could end up being the true X factor.
Khamzat said in training, I submitted him multiple times. In a fight, it's a little different. And Strickland, you've seen Strickland get dumped before. He is an expert at getting up. He's really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu. But just like you said, can you survive the first fucking 3 minutes with that dude? Gnarly.
That's fire.
I miss the crazy Khamzat, but now that he's getting into these top 5 elite guys, I mean, it's probably better that he's not crazy Khamzat.
Dude, I mean, that looked like crazy Khamzat to me.
All week being respectful of the press conferences, respectful of like everything.
Yeah.
It was a lot different than he used to be.
DDP has a way of poking at opponents too, though, so you might be able to pull that crazy Khamzat back out of him.
I'd love to see DDP beat him.
Another important voice, Kamaru Usman, shared insights based on first-hand experience with Chimaev. He spoke highly of the sheer power and pressure in Chimaev's grappling, especially his suffocating top control. Yet Usman also hinted that it remains to be seen if that kind of dominance can be imposed on a fighter as physically strong and mentally unshakable as Du Plessis.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back for round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of the squeeze this freaking dude in.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
Ilia Topuria, despite having personal ties to both fighters, weighed in with a neutral yet telling observation. He described the bout as a pivotal moment for the division, noting that while he slightly leans toward Chimaev due to his aggressive finishing nature, the margin between the two is incredibly narrow. According to him, this isn't a case of a favorite and an underdog. It's a battle between 2 elite competitors who are almost evenly matched.
He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a fucking beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus Du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, It's gonna be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
UFC 319 will be more than just a title fight. It will be a mental, physical, and emotional battle. While Chimaev has the aura of an unstoppable force, doubts about his stamina in long fights remain. Du Plessis, often counted out due to his unconventional style, has proven time and again that he can hang with and beat the best in the division. With top names in the sport split down the middle on who wins, the stage is set for one of the most intriguing middleweight clashes in recent UFC history. Whether it ends quickly or stretches into the championship rounds, one thing is certain: neither man plans on giving an inch. And with personal shots already being fired and tensions rising, UFC 319 might just deliver a classic.